Pale Directive, Training Module 14, Classification, Confidential Tier 3, Threat Designation, EA-03, the Long Field. This material is approved for internal distribution only. The sound of your own footsteps from 1 second ago will never reach you. That is the primary operational parameter of EA-03, an environmental anomaly designated the Long Field. The phenomenon presents as a geographic area where linear distance and chronological progression become uncorrelated. It has been documented in 17 separate operational sectors since initial classification in 1942, most frequently manifesting in areas subject to sustained artillery bombardment or failed infantry assaults, locations classified under Mass Casualty Protocol, redacted. Physical parameters are inconsistent, but follow a predictable pattern. From the exterior, the anomaly is visually indistinguishable from the surrounding terrain. There is no shimmer, no fog, no visible boundary. Entry is often accidental. Once inside, the perceived distance to actual distance traveled ratio begins at approximately 10:1. This ratio has been estimated to exceed 500 1-inch prolonged exposure events. Acoustic attenuation is severe and absolute, recorded at approximately 110 decibels per meter. Standard vocal communication is rendered ineffective beyond 1.5 meters. Physical contact is the only reliable method of communication between personnel. Temporal flux within an EA-03 zone is unquantifiable. Standard issue timepieces, including the Elgin Type A11 and Waltham A17, cease all mechanical function upon entry. An operative's internal experience of time remains linear. You will continue to move forward, one moment after the next. However, this internal timeline does not correlate to external operational time. A traversal team can experience a 3-hour march that is recorded as 4 minutes by an external observation post. The reverse has also been recorded. There is no known method to predict which will occur. EA-03 does not attack. It removes. The initial experience of entering the zone is subtle. Operatives report a feeling of walking against a current, a pressure in the inner ear, and a strange flatness to the quality of the light. There is a sense of moving forward without making discernible progress toward an objective on the far side of the field. This is the first stage of spatial distortion. It is a navigational hazard. It is not the primary threat. The first critical event occurs at approximately 5 meters of forward travel from the entry boundary. Visual confirmation of the point of entry is lost. This is not a gradual fade or distortion. It is instantaneous. An operative can look over their shoulder and see the tree line they just left. They can turn forward, take a single step, and look back to see only a continuation of the field's terrain, stretching to a horizon that was not there a moment before. The terrain behind the operative is replaced by a continuation of the anomaly's environment. This effect establishes the fundamental rule of EA-03 traversal. There is no going back. Forward is the only direction that remains. Operatives have attempted to retrace their exact steps. They do not find the entry point. They find only more field. Every other vector leads to a past that the anomaly has already erased. The second critical event occurs at approximately 10 meters of full immersion. All ambient sound ceases. Wind, distant artillery, aircraft, all external audio is removed from reality. This is followed by a rapid and total attenuation of self-generated sound. The rustle of an operative's own equipment fades first. Then, the sound of their breathing. Finally, the sound of their own footfalls on the grass and soil becomes inaudible. You will see your boot meet the ground. You will feel the impact through your leg. You will not hear it. This creates a condition of absolute sensory isolation. It separates each member of a fire team into their own silent moving bubble of the present. They can see the back of the person in front of them. They cannot hear their approach. They can feel the tension on a connecting tether. They cannot speak to them. This isolation is the primary tool the anomaly uses to degrade unit cohesion. The final known parameter is the most critical. The exit point of an EA-03 zone is not a fixed geographic location. It does not appear on any map. Successful traversal is contingent upon the maintenance of a consistent, forward-vectored psychological intent. Field reports from surviving operatives consistently correlate hesitation, deviation from a set course, or a loss of resolve with a corresponding increase in the field's perceived dimensions. To stop is to become lost. To doubt is to lengthen the journey. Traversal fails when an operative gives up. The institution has codified this reality. The state of an operative's morale is now a measurable factor in mission planning. Exit from an EA-03 zone is contingent on maintaining this constant vector of psychological intent. Any deviation, such as halting forward progress or attempting to alter course, is a procedural failure. It must be recorded on Form 27B6, the Vector Analysis Failure Report, by the ranking surviving operative upon mission completion. The form requires a detailed, third-person description of the moment another soldier's will broke. It is a required piece of paperwork. This psychological component is not theoretical. It is a documented operational fact. In controlled tests, units given a clear, unequivocal objective on the far side of a known EA-03 manifestation reported traversal times 40% lower than units sent in on a reconnaissance patrol with a vague destination. The anomaly responds to purpose. Without it, the field is infinite. Operatives are severed from their point of origin. They are isolated from auditory contact with their unit. Survival is contingent on maintaining psychological focus on an objective that may not be visible. These are the established parameters. There is one more. Acoustic phenomena, consistent with manual excavation, have been reported by multiple teams. The sound is always perceived as originating from a point approximately 200 meters ahead of the forward operative, regardless of their rate of advance. No source for these sounds has ever been located. EA-03 is not a combatant. It is an environmental condition. Standard engagement protocols do not apply. The anomaly possesses no physical body, no central point, and no measurable vulnerability to conventional ordnance. Attempts to neutralize or suppress the effect through force have been uniformly unsuccessful. Small arms fire is ineffective. Rounds fired from standard issue rifles, such as the M1 Garand firing, 30-06 Springfield, have no observable impact. Operatives report the projectile travels normally for an indeterminate distance before its trajectory is absorbed by the spatial distortion. The same outcome is documented for 45 ACP rounds from an M1911, A1 sidearm, and 9mm parabellum rounds from a Sten Mark II. There is no impact. There is no ricochet. The bullet ceases to exist. Explosives, including the No. 36M grenade, produce a muffled acoustic signature that does not propagate beyond the user. The kinetic effect is localized and has no lasting impact on the anomaly structure. Deployment of an M2 flamethrower produces a silent gout of fire that shortens and vanishes within 10 meters. Laying down suppressive fire inside an EA-03 zone is a documented waste of ammunition. It serves only to confirm your weapon is still functional. The threat is environmental. It does not engage. The futility of direct engagement is a matter of record. Post-action debriefings from units that have attempted to engage the anomaly are consistent. These actions correlate with a measurable decrease in operative morale and a subsequent increase in traversal duration. One debriefing report, filed by Sergeant Redacted after traversing an EA-03 manifestation in the Hurtgen Forest sector, states, "Firing my weapon felt like shooting at a painting of a war. The noise was there, the recoil was there, but the world didn't react. It was a pantomime." The only documented outcomes of attempted engagement are a reduction in available ammunition and an expenditure of the psychological resolve required for survival. The hostility of EA-03 is passive and absolute. It does not need to defend itself. It needs only to exist. Engagement is not just ineffective, it is counterproductive. Successful mission outcome is defined by successful traversal, not engagement. This is not a recommendation. It is a standing order. Any operative expending ammunition within an EA-03 zone without a direct conventional threat present will be subject to disciplinary review. Survival within EA-03 is not a matter of combat readiness. It is a matter of procedural adherence. The following protocols are not guidelines. They are mandatory. Deviation will be logged as operator error, and non-compliant personnel will be considered lost. 1. Confirm manifestation. Prior to entering a suspected EA-03 zone, place one resonant marker beacon RMB2 at the boundary. Withdraw 10 meters. If the beacon signal is lost, you have confirmed an active anomaly. Log the coordinates and do not proceed without direct authorization from command. 2. Equip for traversal. All personnel will be physically linked using a chronometric tether CT4. Confirm all clips are secure. Confirm your M1943 modified compass is functional. Failure to confirm equipment functionality is a Class 1 procedural violation. 3. Establish bearing and intent. Before entry, the unit leader will designate a clear, visible landmark on the far side of the field as the objective. If no landmark is visible, a compass bearing will be used. The unit leader will state, "Our objective is that bearing. Nothing else matters." All personnel must understand that reaching this objective is the only mission parameter. 4. Maintain constant forward motion. Once you have entered the anomaly, you will not stop moving for any reason short of critical injury. The required pace is a steady walk. Do not run. Do not slow. Maintain a constant velocity. 5. Do not look back. Under no circumstances will you turn to look toward the point of entry. This action has a documented and severe negative impact on operative morale and has been correlated with total spatial disorientation. The past is gone. Focus on the man in front of you. These protocols assume full compliance and optimal conditions. The institution acknowledges that this is not always the operational reality. 6. Manage psychological distress. If an operative tethered to you shows signs of panic or hesitation, do not halt the line. Increase tension on the tether and use pre-arranged pull signals to communicate. 1 pull, status check. 2 pulls, continue forward. 3 pulls, man down. Your duty is to the squad's forward momentum. Halting condemns everyone. 7. Contingency, equipment failure. If your CT4 tether should break or become unclipped, the contingency protocol is immediate. Maintain constant physical contact by hand. Hold the belt, pack, or hand of the operative directly in front of or behind you. Do not let go. 8. Contingency, loss of contact. Loss of all physical contact is to be considered a permanent separation event. Do not stop to search for the separated operative. They are considered lost to spatial distortion. Their recovery is not authorized. The remaining unit will continue to the objective. The separation must be logged as such upon exiting the zone. Psychological distress, including isolation and disorientation, are documented environmental effects. They do not constitute a valid reason for procedural deviation. Follow the protocol. All doctrine is built upon the equipment you carry. The gear designated for EA-03 traversal is designed to mitigate psychological failure and maintain unit cohesion in an environment that actively dissolves it. 1. Designation, chronometric tether CT4. Function, a 50-meter spool of reinforced steel wire with integrated chronometric sensors in each clip. It provides a nonverbal, physical link between operatives and allows the squad leader to monitor for dangerous temporal variances between team members. Effectiveness. Note, partially effective. The CT4 is critical for maintaining squad cohesion and preventing operative separation. It does not, however, prevent chronological separation. If an operative ceases forward movement while the rest of the line continues, the wire will simply unspool. 2. Designation, M1943. Field compass, modified, EA-03. Function, a standard issue compass, modified for EA-03 operations. The magnetic needle is suspended in a viscous, non-Newtonian fluid designed to resist minor spatial distortions and prevent erratic needle spin, which is documented to induce panic. Effectiveness. Note, partially effective. The compass is reliable for maintaining a straight bearing. It provides no data on distance traveled, your current position within the field, or your proximity to an exit boundary. Standard issue gear is often the final point of failure. Check your equipment before every patrol. 3. Designation, Resonant Marker Beacon, RMB-2. Function, a stake-mounted beacon designed to emit a low-frequency pulse. The intended use is to mark an entry point, providing a stable signal for retrieval teams or for operatives attempting to return to base. Effectiveness note, ineffective. The signal from the RMB-2 becomes undetectable within 5 meters of the EA-03 boundary. Its only current approved use is for the initial confirmation of an anomaly, as outlined in Field Procedure 1. Do not rely on it for extraction. 4. Designation. Emergency ration, Type K, modified, function, standard K ration, with added sucrose and vitamin supplements. Effectiveness note. Approved for morale purposes only. Due to indeterminate traversal times, standard energy calculations do not apply. This ration is to be consumed only when psychological resolve is noted to be failing. All personnel assigned to sectors with documented EA-03 activity must ensure their issued CT-4 tethers are free of frays and that their modified compass fluid has been inspected for degradation within the last 60 days. Requisition forms can be found in Appendix C of your field manual. The protocols are written from incident reports. Each rule corresponds to a failure. Incident report, EA-344-117. Date, Obsprzecia August o Noa Sute Patruzet Shipatru. Sector, Normandy, France. Grid reference, redacted. Operative, Corporal, redacted. Service number 1988451. Unit, 2nd Battalion, redacted regiment. During a reconnaissance patrol, the operatives unit entered an unmapped EA-03 manifestation. After approximately 90 minutes of traversal by internal measure, CPL, redacted disengaged his CT-4 tether clip, a direct violation of traversal protocol. He was observed by his squad leader attempting to return to the point of entry. Visual contact was lost after 3 paces. The official outcome is recorded as lost to spatial distortion following procedural non-compliance. No remains were recovered. No search was authorized. EA-03 is not a location to be secured. It is a condition to be survived. Adherence to traversal doctrine is the sole determinant of mission outcome. Study the procedures. Trust your equipment. Do not stop. Pale Directive. End of module. Compliance is survival.